You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A tuberculosis case has been reported at a Long Island school. A Sachem East high school student was treated for the airborne disease. The district says 116 students and 7 staff members were exposed. Skin tests were given at the school on Monday, and the results will be evaluated by the health department on Wednesday. And a 12-year-old boy was killed while crossing the street in Nassau. It happened on Middle Neck Road in Flower Hill around 6:30 last night. Police say an 18-year-old was driving a pickup truck and hit the boy who ran across the road. The driver did stay at the scene. And school budget votes are happening across Long Island today. Spending plans at Island's 124 districts total more than $16 billion. Elwood, Hicksville, and Shelter Island are looking to pierce the state tax cap. So see what's at stake at your school by going to Newsday.com. And the Thunderbirds touched down onto the island ahead of the weekend's air show.
Imagine the craziest roller coaster you've been on times 10. It is quite the machine. It's got the Pratt & Whitney 229. It's got 29,000 pounds of thrust, a slick F-16. And down here, these lower density altitudes of the beach shows, the performance is unreal.
Now, this will be the 10th time the team is performing at Jones Beach. You can also watch the U.S. Army Golden Knights parachute team and other aircraft performers. The air show is scheduled for 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday and on Sunday. And Long Island will be getting 5 new Shake Shacks in the next 2 years. Now, this year, the chain is opening a location on Middle Country Road in Selden. The company says in 2026, they plan to open locations in Comac, Valley Stream, Holbrook, and Riverhead. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather, shall we? It was a gorgeous day today, but tomorrow we might see a bit of a change up. That's right, clouds overhead and then rain later in the day. We'll have that 7-day forecast for you later in the broadcast. The unofficial kickoff to summer is days away, but is the water at your favorite beach safe to swim in? Sherry Einhorn breaks down the latest reports.
It's like winning the lottery to live here.
Northport's Lori Kerman can't wait to get out onto the water here in Centerport.
I live for this time of year. If it's nice this weekend, I'll have a boat in the water for sure.
Summertime on Long Island. It's almost here. Before you dive into the waters at your favorite beach spot, you might want to check out the latest beach report put out by Save the Sound. Each of the 200 beaches that border the Long Island Sound in New York and Connecticut gets a letter grade based off data from the local health departments that monitor whether bacteria levels are safe for swimming. 4 beaches on Long Island scored an A+, 3 are in Suffolk and 1 in Nassau. Kenny's Beach and McCabe's Beach in Southold, Reeves Beach in Riverhead, and Ransom Beach in Bayville. Only 1 Long Island beach scored among the lowest in the region. Beekman Beach in Oyster Bay scored a C+. Experts insist a bad grade isn't meant to blame or shame.
I think that it's a real call to action to get motivated as soon as possible. We work really hard in Albany to make sure that there is money for these projects. So municipalities need to get in line. They need to identify where their problems are and apply for those grants.
More rainfall creates bigger challenges for local towns and villages. Stormwater runoff means everything inland has the potential to end up here. Wastewater systems can also end up overwhelmed.
It's vitally important that the infrastructure is constantly being upgraded and maintained across Long Island, because that's going to have one of the biggest effects on the quality of the waterways.
This beach in Centerport scored a B-, but that won't stop Lori Kerman from enjoying it at all.
No way. It's beautiful here.
In Centerport, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
The Trump administration has lifted the stop work order for the Empire Wind project off Long Island's South Shore. Newsday's Mark Harrington explains.
Well, so far today, we've been able to confirm that the Trump administration has temporarily lifted the halt on the Empire Wind project, which is going to be construction can start 14 miles off the coast of Long Beach. Some residents there object to it. Our environmentalists love it. There appears to be some question about whether there was a compromise that was reached that would allow for natural gas pipelines and projects like that to have an easier way into New York after years of being rejected for greener energy alternatives. The other thing is about this whole thing is that this was essentially a crisis of the Trump administration's creation. This project is fully permitted, ready to go, everything they needed, and they had been working on construction, about a third done, overall. Spent billions of dollars, and they stopped it. And while letting other similar projects go, they stopped it. So it could be that hard to believe that they did this by design, but they could have done this to try and get some concessions for natural gas for that region.
The skies are clear now, but before we know it, we will see and hear the Thunderbirds overhead.
I pray every year that the weather will be like this for the weekend so that we do have great attendance. Last year, we saw over 350,000 people.
If you're a first-timer, we've got the inside scoop. Chip, what do we need to know?
Well, basically, all parking fields are open within Jones Beach except for the West End area, but those are the areas that are the best viewing. This is the Central Mall area. So we call this Show Center. There's going to be a Coast Guard cutter that's the Show Center boat, and that's where the performers gauge all of their performances when they go around.
So the closer you could get to this area, the better.
Correct. Right here at Central Mall flag mast, right in front of the water tower. It's pretty distinguishable on where to go.
So how early do we need to get here if we want a spot?
The earlier the better. Last year we filled the capacity between 11 and 12 in the morning. We're hoping to not have to close off that early. Remember, there will be security coming into this main area, so you will have to go through a checkpoint. You can bring food, you can bring drink. This year it's even going to be more patriotic than ever before because we have more military performers. It's the 250th anniversary of the creation of the U.S. Army, which was the Continental Army, the creation of the United States Navy, and the Marines.
So even though it's not a Blue Angels year, there's still going to be some show to see.
It is going to be one of the best shows that we've ever had.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
4 wins away. That's what the Knicks are from reaching their first NBA Finals since 1999. Standing in their way, their old nemesis and the team that knocked them out of last year's playoffs, the Indiana Pacers. Newsday's Steve Popper joins us now to break down the series, which begins Wednesday night at the Garden. Steve, Knicks have home court advantage and some revenge on their minds, but this team is very different than the team the Pacers defeated in last year's playoffs, both in health and the lineup, correct?
Well, absolutely. They've changed the roster over after last season, but I think two things, the biggest things are the health, as you mentioned, is they were just falling apart last year. So many guys were out. It was really just a mash unit that was left at the end. So this year they come in completely healthy. Everybody is available, which has just been a huge difference. But I think also that this group that they put together, having gone through 2 real battles in the first 2 rounds, have sort of prepped them for this series. And I think what you're seeing now is not only a different team than last year, but a different team than the one that entered the playoffs.
Couldn't agree more. All right, the best players on both teams are point guards, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton. What should we expect from that matchup?
Well, look, both leaders in the team, but I think something's gone horribly wrong if you see Halliburton guarding Brunson. I think the Pacers will try and avoid that at all costs. He's sort of the weaker link in their defense. Jalen is, he's the clutch player of the year. He's a guy who scores in bunches. With Halliburton, it's a different thing. He's more the floor general, sort of gets everybody involved. There were a lot of games, even in their last series against Cleveland, where he almost disappears for a little while and doesn't get a shot until he needs a little burst of, 3-4 3-pointers in a row. But he's looking to get everyone involved.
All right, real quick, what's your prediction?
I didn't believe in the Knicks against the Celtics, so I'm not going to make that mistake again. I think the Celtics prepare the Knicks for this, so I'm going to pick the Knicks in 6 to finish it up on the road in Indiana.
Oh, that would be sweet. Steve Popper, we'll see you at the Garden. Thank you very much. The Knicks won the season series 2-1. This will be the 4th time the teams have met in the conference finals, the first since 2000. For NewsdayTV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
I didn't know it was going to be this big.
At just 14 years old, Evan Tavares of Valley Stream is painting cleats for Major League stars, from Pete Alonso to Jazz Chisholm Jr.
It's always been my dream and stuff, so to have like MLB players wearing my stuff and representing like my brand, super cool.
It's here in his art studio where Evan Tavares turns rubber and leather into wearable art.
They usually like tell me like the design they want, and then they just like let me go off and do whatever I want on them. This is Corey Seager. I didn't think it looks like him, but a lot of people recognize him.
Chisholm spotted Evan's work on Instagram and now wears his anime-themed cleats for big games and charity events.
And I painted my first pair of cleats for him, and now I'm doing my fourth pair.
Was it shocking seeing him post your artwork?
Yeah, that was insane.
A proud Mets fan, he's painted shoes in a hotel lobby for Jose Iglesias' All-Star concert, and even for Pete Alonso, who homered wearing his cleats.
Thank you. I was so happy when that happened because like he's my favorite player on the Mets.
Beyond the ballpark, Evan uses his talent to give back, painting for a purpose close to home.
I do an annual giveaway. It's a cerebral palsy awareness raffle. I do it in honor of my brother Max, who has cerebral palsy.
From his cleats to his heart, Evan's impact is already reaching the big leagues, one brushstroke at a time. From Valley Stream, I'm Carissa Kelman for Newsday TV.
Kid's got such a talent. All right, let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast, shall we? So we could take a look at the weekend. As you can see, tomorrow and Thursday we're dealing with rain, but check out the weekend. It's going to be gorgeous with temps near the 70s. Just going to be a nice one out there. I'll see you at the air show if you're going.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. For more on all the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. I'm Ken Bufa. Thank you so much for joining us.